Welcome back to Aqua Goddess Tarot. We have a special reading and we're going to do Scorpio. So Scorpio, a predictive reading for Scorpio in Mercury in retrograde that's about to happen. And so this is mostly going to be seen from June 19th all the way to July. So Mercury is going to be retrograding in Cancer. So excited to see. Let's go ahead and get into it, Scorpio. We're actually going to start with this. So give a couple of that. Get a seat, child. Go get a drink. Go get you a warm drink. Cold drink. You're Scorpio. So y'all are in October, November. So we'll get y'all a warm drink and just get into this read. What do you have to deal with in this Mercury in retrograde coming up? So we're going to use these Moonology cards. And it's going to give a representation of various other signs of things you're going to have to deal with. So things that are more water-based, probably going to be easier for you. Things that are not, things that are earth-based might be a bit of a challenge for you. So yeah, I'm excited for y'all. Because I know Mercury kind of in retrograde has all this kind of like negative stuff associated with it. But really it's just time to kind of go inside and just do the work. So let's start off. Boom. Okay, the answers you need are coming. So this is a full moon in Gemini. I'm gonna let you see that. And just to kind of give you a little bit of perspective here of what's going on is that here it's saying that if you have been searching for answers, these answers are going to start coming up during this time of when you're in Mercury in retrograde, specifically probably mostly being in July. And so if there are some answers and you all are very energetic, you're very like emotion driven, internal, so it's probably soul answers. So if you're looking at like what's going on with the world, from everything from quarantine to, you know, protests to, you know, social justice, because, you know, Scorpios, y'all are very big on that. Like, y'all are very big for helping those who are marginalized. You are very big on social justice. The answers you're looking for, they're going to come. Now, if you've had some other answers you're actually asking yourself in your life as well, and this reading ranges from your sun in Scorpio as well as your ascendant, your rising sign in Scorpio. So you can find that out by looking at your natal chart and knowing your actual time of birth. So kind of to jump back in here, if you have been kind of searching for these answers, trying to understand why is this happening, because you're moved by emotion. Earth signs are moved by momentum, by doing something and doing something and doing something and building on it. Water signs are moved by emotion, and you're particularly vulnerable to the suffering of others. And because of that, you probably have felt kind of like a little bit kind of discombobulated, like you want to see how you can help, but you also feel like maybe your emotions are a little bit everywhere. So it's basically telling you during this retrograded period, especially it being in Cancer, it's going to give you that opportunity to have those answers to what you're looking for. The next one is, it's time to take an action. That's exactly what I was just talking about, where, so it says full moon in Aries. So it's basically saying that like, you have something inside of you that wants to take an action. Like, this card is upside down. It's something that you want to work on internally. You want to take an action. You want to change probably the social justice aspects. You want to change what's going on in the world. And that's what you're being called to do. That's what you're being asked to do, Scorpio. And so it's saying the answers that you're looking for will be there. So if you felt any type of way, like any type of confusion or XYZ up until this point, just know that you are going to be okay. Like, the action you need to take is going to happen. And because you are so moved by passion, the things that are kind of happening in life is really motivating you to kind of move forward and to take action. The next one, this card is upside down. It says your commitment is being tested. Boom. Okay. Yep. So that's the typical things that will happen in a Mercury in retrograde. This is called the first quarter moon. And so your commitment is being tested, meaning like if you felt like discombobulated, and of course Mercury retrograde is exactly that, like the communication is off, things are kind of like a little funky dunky, like your computer don't work no more, or you feel like you're not being able to compute, look at me, messing up already. You feel like you're not able to communicate exactly what it is that you want to say about something, especially when it's driven about your passion, your purpose. Look, it's getting my rising sign is Scorpio, so you can see it's already starting to impact me. So your passion or your purpose just know that your commitments are being tested. And this card upside down represents it is an internal thing you're doing. These other things are saying like, this is something that you need to work on the outside. You're going to take action on the outside. This is something you aspire to do on the outside. This right here is saying like, hey, ciao, go inside and work on it. Okay, just go inside and work on it. Work on that aspect of you, because whenever something is being tested, it's really fortifying you. Whenever you're being tested, you got to pull from that, honestly, Capricorn energy, which is it fortifies you. If something breaks when it's being tested, that means it wasn't strong enough. You need to build something stronger. So if you feel like you've been broken by things in your past, understand that you had to break in order to build something stronger, because you're not going to let somebody, fuck with you in the same way again, to be honest with you. Like, you're not going to do that. Also understanding the balance between the two, because you can be stronger and not be like bitter. You can be stronger and not be like, oh, I'm just not going to let anybody in. You want to get stronger but not be from a place of fear or sadness. Next one, a win-win outcome is in the forecast. So that's a full moon in Libra. So what it's saying is that looking deep inside, you're going to be able to balance these things. And that's also what you're looking at on the outside too. You really want, especially when it comes to things like social justice, when it comes to, how people are living now, like you are deeply emotionally impacted by that, like especially with your friends. Like you care so much about like how your friends are going through this time and X, Y, and Z. There is a win-win. That's what you want, but that's also what you're working on the inside, because you might also be struggling with seeing the win-win outcome. Understand that, just to keep it real with you, there has been protests before. There have been, pandemics before. There's going to be protests after. There's going to be pandemics after. It doesn't mean to ignore what's happening and belittle it. It also doesn't mean to have a whole anxiety attack about it. It means specifically what you are, Scorpio, is using the passion of what you're seeing out in the world and using it to enact change. But in order to do that, you got to balance yourself internally with your emotions, and you need to understand what that win-win scenario is. So you might not be able to see it on the physical, but go in and see it on the energetic. See it from your internal self of like, wow, I grew tremendously because of this period, or I see how people grew tremendously because of this period. And a time for healing. Yep. So you might be a healer, honestly. And it could be in anything that you're doing. And you notice that because you're a Scorpio. Like, that healing energy really comes from the Scorpio side, and being able to like tap into that and know that, people need to be healed, and that's something that you want to do. So those answers and taking action is everything that really is in line with you. And you personally just have to work on going internally and understand that things are being tested, as well as coming to your win-win scenario that isn't so self-deprecating, because y'all know y'all can get in a rut. Okay, I got a homegirl who is a Scorpio sun, and she can get in a rut sometimes. I'm like, sis, like, don't even worry about that. Like, it's about to be cool. Don't even worry about none of that. And she just cares so much. Her rising sign is Cancer too, so she about to have a hot ass period. So next couple cards. Okay, Five of Cups has to do with emotion. Same thing here that we're talking about, like the win-win outcome. Basically, this person has 2 cups. The 3 cups has fallen, and here it is. They're only focusing on what it is that they don't have. So if for you specifically, Scorpio, if you're only focusing on the things that are making you upset, or the things that are kind of giving you this like emotional turmoil, or all the negative aspects of things, even if those are the things that initially motivate you, it's going to be really, really hard to see the bright side, to build, to understand that, like, to be fortified, those cups had to fall, and those other 2 are really what you want. Next one is the Ace of Cups. Again, another cup thing where it's like you feel like, so cups are all about emotions. So you feel like you're just kind of pouring out, and you're wondering like, does all my feelings matter? Where am I sending my feelings to? Like, does it even matter how I feel? Does this pain that I feel even matter in the big scheme of things? Ace of Wands too, where you felt limited in your actions. So your intention is to take an action, but what you want to do, like, is you feel very limited on the outside, and that makes sense during a Mercury in retrograde period. That's normal. But also, like, internally, you are trying to figure out how you feel, what you want to do. So during this time, you're going to get the answers that you're looking for there. And then the Hierophant. So the Hierophant being able to balance, being able to make those kind of wise decisions, being able to be a leader in a lot of ways. Like, you're looking for that internal energy inside of you that knows, like, okay, because there's a lot about you that's very psychic, so, and very consciously psychic. So there's a piece in you that is trying to understand, okay, what is the big picture of this? Why did this happen? What's going on here? Queen of Cups. When I say, if this is not a fitting read for you, Scorpio, the Queen of Cups is understanding about nurturing your emotions and nurturing that relationship, you know, that you have to everything. And she is looking at everything going on here. So what you aspire to do and what you're going to do on the outside, because this card is facing upright, is you're going to be able to nurture those experiences in yourself first, as well as in others, and understand that what you experience on the internal is a reflection of what others are experiencing on the external. So everything you're going through, you're going to be able to nurture and lead and heal people through that yourself. That's why you're being called to go through that. And then also you have the Four of Wands, which is a place of happiness, a place of peace, a place of gratitude. So that's where you want to go to, a friendship of balance. Basically everything that you want, you're going to be able to get through that. But of course you're going to go through this journey that you're seeing. And then let me see. Let's do just one card on the soul about what's your soul feeling, Scorpio, during this Mercury in retrograde period. Okay. Synergy. Yep. Synergy. That's exactly what I'm talking about when I say that you're good at healing, you're good at understanding and leading people through. And this card is basically saying, I'm going to let you see it up close. This card is basically saying that the frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. So you're trying to understand, which we talked about before, what's going on right now. Like, you're trying to see the win-win. You're pulling from the Hierophant, but it's saying you're going to be able to do this exactly as you are. So Scorpio, this is you for Mercury retrograde. Let me know in the comment section. Please give me a like and subscribe. Subscribe to your girl. I need it. So until next time, see you later.